us?
Most analysts say no. I think most analysts expect
what do you say?
More bad news coming out of OECD countries, even Eastern Europe and many parts of the world. We have not seen the worst yet. I think it will be some time before we can see significant or some real recovery. So we have to brace for the worst.
What sometime? Are we looking at 3 to 5 years? Shorter than that?
It's hard to say. It all depends on how deep the problems are. But it will not be over in a short period of time.
How's the response been? Are you satisfied with how the US, Europe, and Asia have responded?
Well, I think there can be a better response particularly from the United States. There was a period of flux, whether the bailout plan would get the support. And then when it was announced, it was not announced with the details. So there was didn't spike the market, didn't help the market. So these are the things that I think we need to address. Certainly, I think the long-term issues about the review of the global international financial system, which we've been talking, Malaysia's been calling for it for a long time. It's absolutely necessary for us to look at the entire global financial system.
How do you think the future global financial system will look like, given that the current one has collapsed?
I don't have all the answers, but obviously it is a system that was developed a long time ago, and things move in a much faster pace today, and there are more financial products. Things are much more sophisticated. Even the mere monitoring of what's happening, I think there's a huge gap in that. And the regulatory bodies, taking actions and knowing what's happening and intervening at the right time. I think these are very crucial issues that we need to find solutions and answers.
There's been a lack of coordinated response from Asia. Are you disappointed? Has there been no leadership?
Asia has not really responded with one voice, but I suppose we don't have a real framework for us to put together an Asian response as such. Although within ASEAN there is this Chiang Mai initiative for us to help out other countries, but it's still rather vague, and we have not really put down some specific measures that can be done.
Are you hoping that Asia would come up with a coordinated effort?
I think if the situation warrants it, I think ASEAN and Asia should take up some specific initiative, yes.
What's your take on what's happening in China and India? China has often been seen as a country that will pick up the slack from the rest of the world, with China also slowing down. Do you see that happening?
Yes, I think there's some inherent structural weaknesses in China now, coming more and more obvious. And of course, China cannot export itself out of the present problem because the major consuming countries are not buying as much as they were before. So we do not see China as growing at the breakneck speed as before, but still a very creditable 8% or whatever it is.
Now, Dato Sri, at this point in time, I'd like to look at Najib Tun Razak, the man. You started in politics at the age of, 23, soon after the death of your father. Your uncle was also the Prime Minister of the country. Did that put you in a position where you've always aspired to be in politics and one day to be Prime Minister?
Well, I didn't want to be ahead of myself. But, my father didn't want me to be in politics, to tell you the truth. He wanted me to be an accountant. I think the irony of it, But when I was a student, I thought, oh, what a boring thing to become an accountant. So I decided not to become an accountant. I decided to go to university and get a broad-based education. And then when my father passed away, I had to make that crucial decision. I decided that let me jump into the deep end of the pool. Either either I swim or I sink.
But why politics for you?
I've always been interested in politics, but I didn't want to get into politics too early. But I had to make that choice, and I made that choice. And I'd like to make a very big distinction is that I entered politics after my father passed away. There's a big difference.
What's your philosophy in life?
My philosophy in life is to try to do as best as I can and try to make a difference in the lives of people and the nation. I think there's a great sense of honor to serve the nation, and I feel privileged the fact that I have a chance to serve the nation and have a chance to make a difference in the lives of so many people.
Given the fact that you've been in politics for a long time now and that you've served the people, so to speak, is there one achievement that you're particularly proud of?
I've been in various portfolios. I suppose in the Ministry of Education, I started the educational reforms, and my successors have continued with that. I think that's probably a very significant part of my contribution, if you like. And then in the defense portfolio, I've embarked on this program of modernization of the armed forces and taking care of their welfare. So I've been quite pleased with whatever I've achieved so far.
Okay, and one final question before we let you go. Your vision for Malaysia, 5-10 years down the road.
I will articulate after March, basically. But I believe in this concept that my concept of leadership is performance-based leadership. I believe a leader must perform, and I believe in the context of Malaysia, I'd like to be seen as a transformational leader.
Dato Sri, thank you so much for being with us today. And our guest today has been Najib Tun Razak, the incoming Premier of Malaysia. This has been Bloomberg Voices. Thank you for your company.
I worry.